Good afternoon, everyone. So today we will be seeing the topic on breastfeeding. So let's discuss what is the meaning of breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is the feeding of an infant or young child with breast milk directly from the female human breast. So it is nothing but the with the help of mother's breast. So we will be giving feeding to the infant or any young child that will be directly from the human breast. That is lactation. Lactation is nothing but it is a breastfeeding, not from a baby bottle or other container. Okay, so breastfeeding means directly we are giving milk from the mother's breast to the infant or any young child. Here we are not involving any kind of feeding, which could be either bottle feeding or with the help of spoon or katori. We are not considering it. So this is the definition of breastfeeding. So what changes will happen in a mother's breast during the breastfeeding? So nipple and areola enlarge and darken during the pregnancy. So it is not that breastfeeding preparation, physiological preparation will happen only after childbirth. So this preparation will start happening in the pregnancy itself. So this nipple and the areola, it will start enlarging as well as it become darker in color during the pregnancy itself. Small bump on areola called Montgomery gland. So these are the smaller glands which will be seen as a small bumps. To soften the needle, prepare the nipple for the breastfeeding. So why this Montgomery glands will enlarge? So just to soften the nipple during the breastfeeding. So how this breast milk is produced? So that is called as let down reflex. So how it happens in both the ways. So the mother's breast and the body will also react to some extent, as well as the baby, whatever the baby sucks the breast milk. So that also has the effect. So first let's see how the body responds to the baby's sucking. So infant sucking stimulates the nerve endings in the nipple and areola, which signal the pituitary gland in the brain to release two hormones that is called as prolactin and oxytocin. So with the help of these two hormones, oxytocin and prolactin, so there will be ejection of the secretion of the breast milk. So that thing will be happening by the mother side. So let's see how the baby respond to the breast respond to the baby sucking. So prolactin causes alveoli to take nutrients like proteins and sugars from the blood supply and turn them into breast milk. Oxytocin causes the cells around the alveoli to contract and eject the milk down the milk ducts. So this passing of the milk down the ducts is called as let down reflex. Is nothing but the milk ejection. So sometimes what will happen, even the baby is not sucking the breast, but sometime whenever there is a fullness of the breast, so you can see that there will be ejection of the, automatically the milk will start coming out from the mother's breast. Next, what are the 10 steps? We'll say that the breastfeeding has been successful for the baby. So first one, this is every hospital should have a written breastfeeding policy that is routinely communicated to all healthcare staff. Okay, so every hospital, every maternity hospital should have a policy that will be usually and routinely communicated to the all the healthcare staff which are working in that particular hospital. So next, train all healthcare staff in skills necessary to implement this policy. So when whoever staffs are working in that particular hospital, we need to train all the healthcare staff so that they will be acting actively to implement this policy. Inform all pregnant women about the benefits and management of breastfeeding. So all pregnant women has to be informed about the what are the benefits as well as how the breastfeeding has to be managed. So this information has to be given to the pregnant woman. Help mothers initiate breastfeeding within half an hour of birth. So we have to encourage the mother to initiate the breastfeeding within half an hour of birth. So in olden days, we can see that whatever the yellowish color of milk is there at the soon after the delivery of the baby, so that we used to squeeze it and that will be thrown out. This thing was going on, this culture was going on in the older days, but the thing is that now the policy is changed. So as soon as the baby is born, you have to start immediately the breastfeeding to the baby. So still many women are unaware, especially in the rural areas, so we have to educate them. So within half an hour of birth, so the baby has to be breastfed. So mothers how to breastfeed and how to maintain lactation, even if they should be separated from their infants. Okay, so especially if it is the primigravida mothers, they won't be having the knowledge how to hold the baby, how to hold the breast. So how the breastfeeding has to be done, they will be unaware of this. So it is the duty of all healthcare professionals to teach them how to breastfeed and how to maintain the lactation even if they are separated from their babies. Okay, so separation usually will not takes place, but the thing is that in certain conditions, like if the baby is having low birth weight or any other conditions, for that the baby has to be admitted into the NICU means, so that time the baby and the mother will get separate. But the thing is that the hospital policy will allow the mother to come into the NICU and they can start feeding the baby. So you can tell the mother how this should be maintained. So even if they are separated also, how this breastfeeding can be maintained. So that has to be shown to the mother. Give newborn infants no food or drink other than breast milk unless medically indicated. Okay, so if there is no any contraindication for breast milk, okay, so absolutely we should not give any other drink or food to the newborn baby. So only the mother's milk has to be given for 6 months, first 6 months. That is called as exclusive breastfeeding. So after 6 months, you can slowly start introducing the juices or ganji or fruits or rice. So in that form, you can slowly introduce. But till 6 months, only the mother's breast milk has to be given. Practice rooming in, that is allow mothers and infants to remain together 24 hours a day. Okay, so this rooming in is nothing but we are allowing the both the mother and the baby to stay together. Okay, so that too in one baby. So it says that 24 hours a day, but the thing is that till baby becomes 6 or 7 months, we should maintain the rooming in, so that it helps the attachment also, as well as the breastfeeding will be proper if the baby and the mother is together. Encourage breastfeeding on demand. On demand means whenever the baby cries, whenever the baby is hungry. So it becomes the duty of the mother to breastfeed. So give no artificial teats or pacifiers to breastfeeding infants. Okay, so if the baby, sometime if the baby is very much irritative, so what they give, they will give some artificial pacifier, so that will be put it into the baby's mouth. So that should not be given to the breastfeeding mothers, because it may alter the sucking reflex. So to avoid that, so we are not encouraging to give any of the artificial teats or pacifiers to the breastfeeding infants. Foster the establishment of breastfeeding support groups and refer mothers to them on discharge from the hospital or clinic. Okay, so we can see that there will be some breastfeeding support groups will be there, and once the mother is discharged from the hospital, so in future if they come across with any of the complication, you can refer these mothers to this breastfeeding support group, so that whatever the complications will be there, so that will be solved, and the mother and the baby will be taken care. So what is the breast milk content? So it contains proteins, that is two types of proteins, whey and casein. Approximately 60% is whey and 40% is casein. Lactoferrin inhibits the growth of iron-dependent bacteria in the gastrointestinal tract. So secretory immunoglobulin A also works to protect the infant from viruses and bacteria. So breast milk also contains some amounts of immunoglobulin, which will be protecting the infant from the virus and the bacteria, specifically those that the baby, mom and family are exposed to. So it also helps to protect against E. coli and possibly allergies. Other immunoglobulin including, so apart from IgA, it also contains IgM and IgG in breast milk, also help protect against bacterial and viral infections. So overall, we can say that whatever the immunoglobulins are required for the newborn baby. So breast milk contains all those immunoglobulins which will be protecting the baby from harmful bacteria and viral infection. So next content is lysozyme. It's an enzyme that protects the infant against E. coli and Salmonella. It also promotes the growth of healthy intestinal flora and has anti-inflammatory functions. Bifidus factor supports the growth of lactobacillus that protects the baby against harmful bacteria by creating an acidic environment where it cannot survive. It contains fats. It is necessary for the brain development, absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, and is a primary calorie source. It also contains some amounts of fatty acids which are needed for the brain, retina, and nervous system development. They are deposited in the brain during the last trimester of pregnancy and are also found in the breast milk. It contains some of the vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, and K, which are very much essential for the overall growth and development of the baby. Next, it contains carbohydrates, where lactose is the primary carbohydrate found in the human breast milk. It helps to decrease the amount of unhealthy bacteria in the stomach, which improves the absorption of calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium. It helps to fight disease and promotes the growth of healthy bacteria in the stomach. So let's see what are the benefits of breastfeeding to the mother. This promotes mother and child bonding. So when mother starts breastfeeding the baby, so there will be attachment or bonding will be there between a mother and child. It prevents uterine bleeding in the mother after delivery. So whatever the postpartum hemorrhage is there, so that will be reduced with this breastfeeding. This is a natural form of family planning. So it reduces the risk of breast and ovarian cancer in the mother. So some of the studies have shown that those who have breastfed their babies for 2 years or more than 2 years, so there will be less chances of getting this breast cancer as well as the ovarian cancer in the mother. It saves time and precious expenses need not to be used for buying milk powder and healthcare. So it is a readily available preparation. You need not to carry, you need not to buy, you need not to cool, nothing to be done. So it is readily available. Just the breast has to be cleaned to some extent and directly the breastfeeding can be started. So those were the advantages to the mother. Let's see what are the advantages to the baby. This provides the best possible nutrition to the young child. So whatever the nutritional requirements are there for a newborn child, so that will be provided with this breast milk. It reduces the incidence of cough and colds, ear infection, bronchitis, pneumonia, meningitis, and diarrhea through its protective factors. It protects the child from colic, asthma, eczema, nose, and food allergies. It is essential for the optimal physical, emotional, and mental development of the child. Breastfeeding child are also smarter. Okay, so if you compare the children with breastfeeding and with the non-breastfeeding children, so you can say that obviously the breastfeeding children will be smarter and their IQ will be more comparatively to the non-breastfeeding children. So this is about the benefits of breastfeeding. Thank you so much for the patience listening. Have a good day.